Ivanka Trump unveiled an important new White House initiative today. It's aimed at helping women in developing countries worldwide get ahead financially. The project is called the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative. It's going to provide services like job training, financial support, and legal reforms to as many as 50 million women over the next 6 years. In an op-ed in yesterday's Wall Street Journal, Ivanka wrote, quote, "When women are free to thrive, they bring national stability as well as more jobs and economic growth. Expanding women's economic participation has the potential to boost global economic output by an additional $12 trillion by 2025. Joining me now to discuss District Media Group's Beverly Hallberg. You know, Beverly, I did not know that President Trump had a 2017 national security strategy to recognize women and their critical role in achieving global peace and prosperity. So obviously the administration has been working on things like this already behind the scenes.
Yeah, and when you look at his initiative here, it's part of it is a national security initiative. So wanting to focus on improving the relations of people in countries that are very violent. I do think that we should fight for women to have the same opportunities that, for example, I have in this country to start a business. That's important. But unfortunately, while I think the heart behind this initiative is correct, I don't think it's the place for government to do this. And here's the reason why is when you do have foreign aid, traditionally, it gets into the hands of the wrong people, or it doesn't know how to meet the needs on the ground that vary very drastically from not just country to country, but city to city, from town to town. So while I like what they are trying to achieve with this initiative, sadly, I think it could do more harm than good.
Well, then what about something like the Marshall Plan? I mean, that seemed to work pretty well. How do we help people in these other countries? And by the way, economically, obviously, we want to see these nations prosper. As the world's middle class was building out over the last 20 years, we saw the incidence of war and human poverty and misery actually decline precipitously.
Yeah, well, a lot of times it's because these countries are doing it on their own, and also because they're looking at other countries to lead by example. So one of the best things the United States can do is lead by example and show that we should treat all people here with dignity and respect so that they can improve the outcomes of their lives when it comes to opportunities to start businesses or make more money in their jobs. But there's another part of this, and that is the importance of nonprofit organizations, which do far more good when it comes to international crises or just on the ground when it comes to the needs that are there in so many of these countries. It's nonprofit agencies that tend to do so much more. Now, I will say when it comes to this initiative, I am encouraged by the fact that there is a public-private partnership. So you see PepsiCo getting involved, UPS is getting involved, and it does seem to have a clear strategy on how this money will be used, which often is missing from past types of foreign aid that's being funded. So again, the heart is there, but I think there are other ways to achieve this without government funds going towards it.
There's no doubt we don't want to see U.S. taxpayer dollars end up in some dictator's Swiss bank account. Right. So, another woman who's got some economic ideas, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, adding some meat to the bone, if you will, with this new Green Deal. And it's got some people, some people are pretty upset, some are worried, and some just think it's too far-fetched. And of course, banning fossil fuels, I think, has been a progressive idea for a long time, but eliminating all cars, rebuilding every building essentially in this country, eliminating air travel, replacing it with high-speed rail, government guaranteed jobs, a healthy diet, no more meat, make sure everyone has a home, make sure everyone has economic prosperity. It's a grandiose utopian type dream, and a lot of people are clinging to it and glomming onto it, Beverly.
Yeah, there are many of these Democrat candidates that are already saying that this is what they want. You have seen Nancy Pelosi already pull herself away from this. I think it's for two reasons. One, I don't think she likes that the star of AOC is rising and wants to take some of that glory back to herself. But I think she also knows legislatively to come out with this major package, which, by the way, I can't wait for the CBO to score it. Let's see how much it's actually going to cost. She knows that legislatively this isn't feasible at all. But yeah, some of those areas that you mentioned, it even talked about giving free money to people who are unwilling or unable to work. I mean, it really runs the gamut. What people need to know is the car you're driving now, the air travel you currently enjoy, she wants all of that to go away.
Yeah, Ed Markey co-sponsoring it with her. He's been around for a long time. Beverly, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, that announcement for you. We lost a member of our Fox family. Fox News legal analyst and Nevada real estate